Here we have the current stock market update for GameStop Corporation, stock ticker GME. Before we begin, if you find these educational materials to be helpful in your trading, please remember to click the like and subscribe buttons and leave your thoughts below in the comment section so that other traders will be able to find this information more easily on the platform. So here we have the hourly price chart, and what we're going to be doing in this video is to look at two different trend waves here to sort of assess which price levels are most important for this stock and where the stock is likely to head going forward. So as we can see here, the overall trend movement more recently, the smaller trend movement here, has clearly been positive in its direction. Ultimately, we've seen share prices move from lows of $19.88 to highs of $24.69. This does create the most influential, dominant trend movement currently, and this is the most important trend movement that will be likely to control prices or influence share prices near term. So, as we can see here, this latest price movement has started to grind through some very important support zones. I can sort of move in here a bit. It sort of flattens out the picture a bit too much, I think. But what we're starting to see here is a breakthrough important Fibonacci support zones. Essentially, what we're looking at here is the 38.2% Fibonacci retracement of this dominant trending move, which comes in right around 22.85. So as we can see here, share prices most recently have posted lows of 22.73. So this does violate this region. We've also closed below this area as well. We've also seen a price close coming in right near this Fibonacci support zone. So this is not positive on its own. And then in addition to that, we can see that share prices are really not managing to bounce out of this area. So that's a bit of a negative as well. Mostly what we can point to, if we're going to look for a positive outlook here, what we can say at the moment is that share prices have not yet broken through this exponential moving average cluster. You could try to make the argument that share prices are attempting to find some support here. It's a little bit of a suspicious argument given the fact that we just broke below the Fibonacci support zone. And share prices, as you can see here, are sort of moving into, on a spike basis, moving into the region that is below this yellow line. So the yellow line essentially is the 20-hour exponential moving average, and then here we can see the wick did slightly breach this area. You'd be more convinced with the downward movement here if you saw a price close below that line. We have not seen that yet on an hourly basis, but the fact that we're not seeing much of a bounce here, this is a very weak green candle that we're seeing currently. So this picture does not look very good, and it doesn't look as though the overall trajectory here, the bullish trajectory, is going to be supported here near term. We can't say yet that there has been a break because this has not yet occurred. But if we do see a break into this exponential moving average cluster, at the very least, you have to say that the bias then turns to sideways consolidative rather than bullish. Previously, on the short term time frame, from a short term perspective, we were seeing share prices break convincingly above the exponential moving average cluster. This really occurred right here, which would be the Friday, August 30 trading session. And then this is really where we did start to see these bigger highs start to move in. Of course, these highs were short-lived. This ultimate price high here is a red candle with a long wick on the top of it. So what this starts to look like is a blow-off top. You see prices move higher. They're not able to sustain that level for very long. And then share prices quickly start to reverse. So that is the reason that this 24.69 level is going to be critically important going forward. Anybody that's been watching my prior videos possibly remembers that my recommendation here for this stock was to close the position on an approach of 24.80. We didn't quite get there. It looks like we might have reached 10 cents below there. But it is going to, if we do start to see downward price movements here, it's going to be very unfortunate for people that did hold on to these positions, because we did come fairly close to that upside price target. And you really do need to see share prices move forward here in the positive direction in order to sort of invalidate this outlook. For the most part, that was the expected level of resistance, 24.80. So if we're not able to even reach that area, this is not a good sign for the stock, and this does suggest that share prices could start to move in lower. People that have been watching my videos on this stock probably remember that I have been recommending to find areas here where share prices are seeing a bit of a jump, so that some profits or some gains can be accumulated or captured before share prices start to move lower. So this is a bit of it's a we're knocking on the door here of a bearish scenario. I would say that we would need to close below this yellow line here. We would need to move back into the exponential moving average cluster and close below there on an hourly basis in order to truly solidify that outlook. But the way things currently stand, this does not look very strong because we're not seeing much of a bounce out of this area. We had two different support levels that could be found right around 2280, 2285 roughly. And if we're not seeing much of a bounce from there, it's hard. It becomes much harder to believe that we're going to see a bounce here near term. So overall, there was a lot of enthusiasm about this near-term price movement to the top side. There was a lot of suggestion all throughout the platform that this was the beginning. Here, the short squeeze is coming, the MOASS. But when you're only seeing these types of price movements to the top side, I mean, even if we're very generous about the overall trend wave here, if we just sort of pull out a bit, and even if we draw this from the most positive possible way, if we look at the near term low at 1988 and then extend this all the way to the prior highs at 2469, we're not even looking at a full $5 in share price movement, and we're already starting to see retracements into these lower levels. So as things currently stand, you do have to sort of take the size of this trend wave in the broader context here. How does this trend wave actually look when we compare this price movement to the prior declines from 2979? These really pale in comparison. And it's still unfortunate that we just continue to see this enthusiasm, this pumping of this stock for events that are just not happening. There is no major short squeeze here. There were a few small news pieces that did help to support the stock on a short term basis, but the overall price movement was very small in size. Even if we're being as generous as possible with the extent of this bull run here. So if we do start to see overall, breaks of support, continued breaks of support below these exponential moving averages, I think that you can say that this most recent trend wave higher has run its course, and that things are ready to start to turn back into the negative direction for this stock. So here's the current market update for GameStop Corporation, stock ticker GME. Our high value trading strategies membership is currently available for a limited time for only $9.99 per month. These high conviction investment strategies are characterized by superior risk to reward metrics that target massive market beating returns over time. Join now to outperform the market. Lock in this special introductory rate of just $9.99 per month for the entire lifetime of your membership and start trading stocks with the pros.